Lil Meech and Big Meech have erupted online, sparking a controversy uglier than anyone expected. The family name is now trending for all the wrong reasons, with damaging receipts surfacing and reshaping public perception. For months, whispers circulated about their real lifestyle, but now those puzzle pieces appear to be snapping together, creating a deeply troubling picture. At the center of the storm are leaked conversations that reveal Lil Meech pleading desperately.
Begging you, please, delete this stuff. This is my reputation, bro. I apologize for saying what I said to you. Please, man.
You said it was capped, though. What was capped, Demetrius?
Selena, I said that to get the post deleted, Selena.
Okay. You're right. But now you want to make me look like a liar in front of the internet. It's crazy, Demetrius.
That's not how I tried to make you.
In the audio, he's recorded begging for damaging posts to be deleted, apologizing repeatedly, and trying to retract earlier statements. This is not the voice of someone projecting power or untouchability. It's the tone of a figure cornered and stripped of control, reflecting a sense of genuine panic. The clips reportedly show repeated attempts to make excuses, walk back prior claims, and scramble for credibility. Then comes the critical slip-up. Lil Meech allegedly admits he lied to persuade influencer Selena Powell to remove a post. That confession undercuts the entire defense, transforming the narrative from speculation into humiliation. Once the digital world seizes on a lie, there's no erasing it. And this is exactly what's fueling the uproar. Screenshots live forever, and memes can outlast reputations by years. This is where the narrative surrounding the Meech family begins to spiral. For decades, the legend surrounding Big Meech stood untouchable, a mythic figure with an empire of hidden cash, offshore accounts, and fortunes waiting for the day of release. The public image painted him as a kingpin stepping out of prison into a vault stacked sky high with money.
And the first time I met 50, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answered the phone. He like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. And at first, it sounded crazy, but of course, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing. So of course I wanted to do it, I just didn't know if I could do it.
The draft from Randy because it was important to show the origin story, to see the innocence and how they chose to get involved and then it grew.
But now the myth faces a direct challenge. Influencer Selena Powell, long known for exposing public figures, claims the reality behind the curtain is far different. According to her, the supposed empire of secret millions may not exist at all. She alleges that not only is Lil Meech financially unstable, but Big Meech himself is struggling, living off favors rather than a hidden fortune. This sharp contrast between myth and claim is reshaping the public's perception of the family. Powell says she spent extended time around Lil Meech and saw cracks forming in the big baller image. She describes erratic behavior, substance use, and mounting financial pressure. Even more damaging, she claims she personally witnessed his Lamborghini Urus and Ferrari being repossessed, not because of rivals or beef, but simply due to unpaid high-dollar payments and insurance costs. These allegations directly hit the credibility of the BMF legend and have triggered a wave of debate online. Pause and think about this for a moment. Exotic cars come with insurance bills so massive they can reach $8,000 to $10,000 every 6 months. That's essentially like paying another car note. But for a luxury vehicle you do not even own outright. If the cash flow slows or stops, those bills can destroy a lifestyle in record time. It's the kind of image that shines on social media while quietly suffocating the person behind the wheel.
Begging you, please, delete this stuff. This is my reputation.
Selena Powell's claims didn't stop with repossessions. She went further, alleging that both Lil Meech and Big Meech are holed up inside one of Floyd Mayweather's Miami mansions. Not owning it, not even formally renting it, but reportedly staying there as if it were borrowed space or an extended Airbnb arrangement. These claims, if true, signal a dramatic shift from the image of financial independence to a portrait of borrowed luxury. When you step back and connect the dots, her account begins to sound plausible. Recall how 50 Cent cut ties first, canceling the BMF television show and then pulling the plug on a massive welcome home concert for Big Meech. Those two moves effectively erased the family's most visible income streams overnight. With that relationship gone, their financial stability appears to have collapsed along with it. What once looked like an untouchable empire now resembles smoke and mirrors, with cracks visible to anyone willing to look beyond the headlines. These revelations have fueled an intense online debate, drawing scrutiny not only to the family's finances but also to the myths that have surrounded them for years. Now the cracks are out in the open for the whole world to see. It's tough to watch this unfold because the older generation in the game still remembers Big Meech's golden era as if it were yesterday. Back then, he wasn't simply getting money. He was money. He defined what living larger than life truly meant, creating a template that many rappers still copy today. Picture this: Maybachs and Lamborghinis lined up like toy cars, private jets waiting on standby, diamond watches flooding both wrists, and designer outfits flowing like water. Clubs would literally shut down to let BMF roll in. Once they hit the scene, cash rained so heavy it looked like autumn leaves falling from trees. This was more than an image. It was a culture that defined mid-2000s excess and power. Big Meech pioneered that whole approach of spending loud and showing influence, not by what was saved but by how much could be thrown away in a single night. Yet decades later, every dollar that hit those club floors is now a dollar that could have been stacked in vaults or offshore accounts. That's the cold reality of excess. The same game that feeds you can starve you when the bills come due. Flexing without limits always carries a hidden price tag, and eventually someone must pay it. The sting cuts even deeper when you see Lil Meech fold under the massive shadow of his father's legacy. How does someone come from one of the most legendary street empires in history only to get exposed by an influencer with a camera and a platform? These are the questions fueling the current debate. She is not the type of woman men publicly celebrate. She's infamous for being a modern-day superhead figure, moving from one celebrity to another, leveraging connections to climb, then blasting private business the second the money dries up. This is her entire pattern, and the streets recognize it immediately. Any veteran father with true experience would warn his son to stay far away from someone with that reputation. Big Meech, a man who survived an era defined by hustling, betrayal, and federal surveillance, knew the playbook well. But Lil Meech either ignored that wisdom or thought his name made him untouchable, and that's exactly when the most damaging mistakes are made. Selena Powell didn't stop at flexing about repossessed cars or the Mayweather house connection. She went much further with her accusations, stacking allegations that attack not only lifestyle but also character. She claimed Lil Meech was battling a serious pill problem, which not only endangers his health but also strikes directly at his image and credibility. Once addiction rumors take hold, every move gets interpreted through that damaging lens, making success look shaky. Then came her wildest bombshell yet. She publicly accused Lil Meech of being a snitch. According to her story, this accusation ties back to a traffic stop where police allegedly found a gun in the car. She claims that instead of standing tall and taking the charge, he pointed at his own associate, who ended up doing time while Lil Meech walked free. True or not, an accusation like that can devastate a reputation built on toughness and loyalty. Whether her story is ultimately true or false, once a rumor of that scale hits the streets, especially with the Meech name attached, it becomes almost impossible to shake. In street culture, a snitch label sticks like concrete, and even a whisper can stain an entire legacy permanently. Reputation is currency, and a tarnished reputation can erase decades of mystique in seconds. Now zooming out, imagine if the internet had existed at the height of BMF's reign. Every scandal, every secret, every rumor would have been blasted worldwide instantly, not just whispered in coded conversations or buried in magazine columns. Back then, dirt spread through word of mouth and low-key chatter. Today, screenshots, recordings, and videos travel across the globe faster than a denial can be posted. This is why reality matters more than image in this era. When the finances are genuinely solid, there's no need to beg, fake, or overflex. But when the money is shaky in real life while still posing online, someone who knows the truth will always step forward with receipts. And when the name Meech is tied to that storyline, it lands with double impact. The deeper lesson buried in all of this is straightforward. Live within your means. Flashy toys like Lamborghinis and Ferraris can drown a person financially faster than they impress strangers online. If the money is running tight, stepping back from the illusion isn't weakness, it's survival. Today's climate rewards authenticity, and anything less is quickly exposed. There is absolutely nothing wrong with driving a Honda, Toyota, or any solid everyday ride. In fact, stability will always shine brighter than fake luxury if it keeps bills clean and stress low. If times get rough, pawning extra jewelry or selling off unnecessary toys is not shameful, it's strategic. Quiet money grows loud over time while flashy money disappears. The modern world rewards financial discipline and exposes every crack in a false lifestyle faster than ever before. Once a person reaches the point of begging someone to delete posts, scrambling on calls, and doing desperate damage control, the damage is already locked in. Every call can be recorded, every DM screenshotted, every conversation leaked in seconds. Nothing stays private anymore, and once something hits the internet, it is permanently stamped there. Even a single slip-up can turn into a viral headline that overshadows everything else. On top of the financial drama, Lil Meech faces another mountain. If the rumors about him drowning in pills are true, that explains much of the reckless choices and sloppy behavior seen repeatedly. Substance issues make people desperate, cloud judgment, and open the door for manipulation. By the time sobriety kicks in, it's often too late. The damage is already visible to the public. Recordings surfacing, wild allegations stacking, and non-stop exposure hitting back-to-back create the perfect storm for a public downfall. It doesn't just drag Lil Meech down, it also tarnishes Big Meech by association, making the empire they built brick by brick appear to be crumbling into dust. The narrative has shifted from legend to cautionary tale. Before the final unraveling, the public had already been seeing the warning signs. What once looked like a dynasty built on loyalty and money had begun showing fractures years earlier, but now the cracks are impossible to hide. Repossession rumors, footage of desperate phone calls, and leaked screenshots all combined to dismantle an image that took decades to build. Every whisper turned into proof. Every speculation became a headline. Even the old stories about offshore accounts, hidden vaults, and financial escape plans no longer look like myths of power. They look like cautionary tales. With social media, private life, and public performance are fused into one stage where nothing can be controlled. The same symbols that once signified dominance, designer clothes, cars, jewelry, VIP status, are now interpreted as liabilities, evidence of overextension and financial stress. The dynamic between father and son adds a deeper layer. Big Meech's silence, once seen as mystique, now reads as resignation. Lil Meech's constant appearances, live streams, and viral clips project vulnerability instead of strength. Together, they're trapped between an old code of secrecy and a new digital era where nothing stays hidden and narratives are built in real time. This sets the stage for the final blow to their reputation. Not from a courtroom or a rival, but from the relentless cycle of exposure, commentary, and digital receipts. By the time Selena Powell entered the picture and began dropping allegations with evidence attached, the public was already primed to believe the worst. This isn't just gossip anymore. It's a full-scale collapse of branding, image, and credibility under the weight of the internet. Meech himself is no longer the untouchable figure he was in the 1990s and early 2000s. BMF wasn't just big, it was legendary. Fleets of exotic cars, private jets waiting on standby, massive VIP sections locked down, and heavy influence inside the music game gave the movement unmatched power. Simply being tied to BMF could give an artist like Young Jeezy a full career boost. That's how much weight the brand carried during its height. Fast forward to today, and the landscape is completely different. That kind of flashy empire can't survive under the all-seeing eye of social media. Cameras are everywhere, people record everything, and even the tiniest crack in an image gets blown up to full scale instantly. Instead of quiet power growing behind closed doors, the Meech legacy is taking hit after hit online in front of millions. The shift from private reputation to public spectacle is relentless, and every misstep becomes content for a new viral headline. What's really unfolding is the unraveling of a family once feared, respected, and admired, now being humiliated by their own mistakes in a digital world that never sleeps. A father who once defined how to shine on the streets is mostly silent, appearing in photos but rarely speaking, while his son spirals publicly for everyone to judge. Those who once idolized them are now treating the saga like a streaming series, watching the downfall episode by episode, waiting for the next dramatic twist. The lesson could not be clearer. Never build your image on lies, never burn money on luxuries you can't sustain, and never give access to people who profit from exposing weakness. The internet is powerful, unforgiving, and fast. the same crowd that hypes you today can flip tomorrow and expose every secret. Once that switch flips, there's no easy way back. If you're following this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, share this video with your circle, and of course, subscribe to the channel. More updates and deep dives are coming soon, so stay locked in for the next big story.